That 13 years ago on this tape.
Cool. Ow.
25 minutes past. Oh, Omega goes through the
Nice. They should have got a better camera angle of that.
So now
Yeah.
each man, Omega and Cody and
Oh, here it is. Oh! Those little Japanese tables ain't nothing to fuck with, man. Mm-mm.
Luckily, it didn't hit that blue steel bar on the bottom of the barricade.
Did he just say blue steel?
Oh, did he? Jesus, yeah.
How's Travis?
He's good.
Cool.
He's on vacation this week.
Ah!
Had I known Arnold was going to be absent, I would have called him.
Oh, yeah. Is he just doing a staycation? Or, yeah. Ooh.
Great counter from Cody Bushi. Mid kick and mid flight. Omega is down.
I need to stop eating all these goddamn Doritos.
On the outside of the floor. His two challengers now.
Now, see, when it comes to Doritos Taco Bell tacos, I prefer the nacho cheese.
Never had any of them.
Really? You're missing out, bro.
I'm not a Taco Bell guy. When I think of Mexican restaurant, the last thing I think of is Taco Bell.
I don't think of Mexican restaurant when I think of Taco Bell. I think American fast food.
Really?
Yeah. Taco Bell is not Mexican food. It's American fast food.
Shoulders are down. No, they're not.
Testing out the computer, make sure there isn't any buffering or anything.
Um,
So if anybody's out there watching this already, I'm trying to get able to finish this New Japan match.
wow, that's one way to break up a pin.
So much respect for Red Shoes, they don't hit him.
Yeah.
He's like, just give me your hand.
We were milliseconds away from Kota Ibushi versus Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom. Just like 2015 when
Richards is like, well, I guess that's two. Now, again, was he saving the match or was he saving his friend?
Oh, he was saving the match. His friend had it.
Which friend, though? Remember what Cody said? Hey, we're friends, too. Oh. But he pissed off his golden lover. Look. Oh, he's so mad. He's so pissed off.
No golden shower tonight.
Nice. All these reels are going to be done by the time we start the show. Oh! The two lovers caught up in
Showtape palm strikes.
a domestic dispute over here. Oh!
What's this?
Wow. He's in a little slap off.
I got about 2 hours away from my own slap off.
Wait, what?
Who's we're done recording?
Hold on, man. That's one way to pin him. Put your balls in his face. Where's Red Shoes? Why is Red Shoes not counting this? So we're gonna talk about all that UFC bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's a highlight of my week.
All right.
Even though he's striking back, Ibushi obviously has close fists. Punches. Close fist down. Now in the morning.
Get in there, Red Shoes.
And now we got 30 minutes.
Woo! Yeah, badass little match.
Can he do it? Can he put him away? Can Kota Ibushi become the champ? Cody denies.
Cody, you little fucking creeper.
Oh! Crossroads!
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Steal the title! Yeah! 1, 2!
Oh! Oh yeah.
He was looking for Cody. He got him.
Oh, it's Randy. Nope, she must have butt dialed me again, I guess.
And Cody could be going to Wrestle Kingdom right here.
Uh-oh.
Another crossroads! Holy cow!
Oh.
Oh my God! Cody almost stole the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and went to
How much longer is this match going?
God, this is insane.
We got a few more minutes.
Okay.
I know I said that a few minutes ago, but we're already recording. People are already listening to us. Mystery Science 3000, this shit.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? His head just went. Thump.
Yeah, I heard it. Oh! Oh no.
It's fire again.
Cop killer!
Vertebreaker. Nice. Nice.
Cody is the champion.
God damn it, Kenny.
Omega pulled Cody's leg. Ibushi would not have kicked out. Cody would be the champion were it not for Omega. Cody's so close. Back-to-back times.
Oh, this is my best part.
Yeah.
Cody just looked at the title belt, so on the table next to us, and then went for a chair. Yeah.
That's a shiny chair. But why'd he put the shiny chair down?
Don't be fools. Cody's gonna fight something bigger.
Oh, he found the shiny belt.
Well, we saw it earlier.
Because belts hurt worse than chairs.
That took Evil completely out of his match.
Wait, they just wait, what the? Who that? Was that one of the Young Bucks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick, I think. I've been watching them for almost a decade, and I still can't separate them.
Yeah. Like Jimmy and Jay.
Yeah. Which one's the ugly one?
Bree. Oh. Bro, this match, man. I can see why you wanted me to see this before we did the show. Oh! Verse Rana. Oh. Has Kenny ever won with the J Driller?
No.
Yeah, but he's on Dream Street.
Drag high. Oh my God. 1, 2. Wow. Wow. Cody was a half second too late there. Holy shit. That was beautiful.
My friend, you are welcome.
I've got a hot take about that. I've got a burning, piping hot take for this. Was there shenanigans after the match?
Ref tried to give him the belt, and he waved it away.
Oh.
He's more
Because he's more concerned with his booty buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. There's one last part.
All right.
Hiroshi Tanahashi retained the briefcase earlier tonight. Well, we've got our main event set for Wrestle Kingdom. And certainly the generational divisions that exist between Omega.
There we go.
Cool. Dude, it's already 8:20.
That's fine. You just put the computer to sleep.
All right.
And then let
do it.
me
Let's do it.
Oh shit!
Okay. What's up, everybody? Hi. Live from the landing strip is a 305th edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
This is Chris.
And thank you so much for joining us. I know some of you guys were probably already joining us, but that's, because we were on time, but we weren't on time because we were watching a match that Chris had to have me watch. Which is a triple threat match between Kenny Omega, Cody, and Ibushi for the IWGP Championship. Holy shit. Shall we just get into that match right now?
Fuck it. That's fresh in your mind.
All right, it's fresh in my mind. Chris, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What is my least favorite stipulation match?
Last man standing.
That's correct. That is very, very recorded on this show. I've said this multiple times. But Chris, let me ask you another question. What is my favorite stipulation match?
Triple threat.
That's right. I've always really liked triple threat matches. Always have. They're probably my favorite because it's something different, but not too crazy over the top where they're really pushing it. Now, Chris, let me ask you another question. What is my favorite triple threat match of all time? You might know this.
Oh, fuck.
You might know this. I'll give you a second.
Could it be
Think about it.
John Cena versus Randy Orton versus Triple H from WrestleMania 24?
No, but that is a good one.
Oh, okay.
All right. Give up?
I give up.
Give up?
It's already 8:25.
Yeah, sure. Yes. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe versus Christopher
That was
Daniels.
going to be my next one.
X Division title match. That is my favorite. And the reason why it's my favorite is because it was so innovative at the time and groundbreaking at the time. Even though we've seen triple threat matches before, it made Samoa Joe who the fuck he is because he went into it undefeated, but he didn't win the title, but he didn't take the pin. And everyone was like, wow, he lost, but he didn't lose. This guy's a badass. And you know what? He could go when the lights are on bright. Christopher Daniels was kind of, sort of passing the torch along to AJ Styles. And everyone was like, God damn, AJ Styles, that guy is going to be something in, a year, 5 years, 10 years. And he was. And is. And it kind of put TNA's X Division itself on the map. That is the first memory I have. And I would assume a lot of other people had of being, oh, fuck, this is the X Division?
Sign me up.
Yeah. So it was like right there to really just light everything on fire when it came to TNA in the early days of TNA when it was still good. All right. Now, part of that reason was because all the innovative flippy dippy stuff that went in there. And yeah, there was some story there with Joe and the passing of the torch between Daniels and AJ, even though Daniels didn't really want to pass the torch. Whatever. You know me, Chris. I'm known as the story guy. I like story a lot. And while there is story in that match, the reason why that particular match, the X Division match, was so good and why it was my favorite was because of all the innovative, flippy, dippy, and crazy shit that happened. Sir, I think I have a new favorite triple threat match of all time.
Oh, Nelly.
I think I do. I mean, I just watched it. You guys that were here in the live chat early know that we just fucking watched it. This is my knee-jerk reaction. I need a little bit more time to ruminate on this. But the reason why I think that it is there for me is because the story in this was fucking impeccable. The story.
You normally, when you have triple threat matches, there's normally people that either everybody hates everybody or two of the three are friends and the ones they outcast. But this match, they portrayed it as in the system. These are all three guys in the Bullet Club that they claim to be cool. Two of them are golden lovers. Cody is mending fences with Kenny Omega, and he's reaching out, trying to make an effort to get to know Ibushi. These three, even though Cody weaseled his way into this match,
sneaky style.
Yeah,
he's the king of
sneak style.
Yeah,
we did that in a shirt.
Yes.
This is my third time watching this match.
Really?
And this match happened Sunday.
Okay.
This might be my favorite triple threat match. And and the one thing that carries this above your X Division match is that even in that match, there are spots where one person gets thrown out. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of this where all three guys were in it, and if they weren't all in it, the one person that was down was in the ring. So all three guys kept it in the ring. With
the exception of Cody going through the table, the ring announcer table, I think you're right.
And then Kenny Omega biting the big one through the table also and hitting his head on the back. But most of it, the three of the guys were in there. You did have moments where you got the rematch from Kenny versus Kota. You got the moments where you got the rematch from Kenny versus Ibushi. You got the moments where Ibushi just told Cody to sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
But everything felt seamless. Like you were asking for time because we're recording.
Right.
If we didn't have this pending, you would have never asked what time is it? How many more minutes? This was like there was no filler as far as the story goes. There was a beginning, there was a middle, there was an end, and it was seamless.
Yes.
And some of the shit they did in this match, God fucking damn.
Well, I mean, we could talk about spots and moves and stuff like that, which there are a lot of good spots and moves. Just like in that old X Division match I was talking about, there were spots and moves that were just cool, okay? And I'm not denying this match for having the spots and moves, but the thing, again, I'm going to reiterate this, the thing for me that made it stand out over that other match is the story. And I'll tell you when it first caught my attention. It was before he even hit play on this. It was very early going in the match. Cody was down. There was a point in time when Kenny and Ibushi could have got a pin, and Kenny was like, go for it. Get a pin. And to me, that seemed like Kenny was trying to tell Ibushi, hey, man, we're cool. Go ahead and pin the guy. But the subtext behind that is, bitch, I know it's too early in the match. I ain't going to get the win anyway, so I'm going to pretend like I'm your friend and let you go ahead and get a pin that's meaningless because you're not going to get the 3. And all that fucking subtext there, and just that one little moment, that caught my attention. And there was shit like that throughout the entire match between the interactions of the 3 of them. Especially, I even said this, and I'm not sure if we had already hit play or not. I even said this. It's like, man, Kenny and Ibushi are really beating up on each other. And you know what? Fucking Cody's the leader of the goddamn Bullet Club. He's eventually going to be like, hey, bitch, why don't you help me out? What happens? Almost on cue.
Cody, hey, man, we're friends too. Help me out.
Yeah.
And that was one of my favorite parts because Kenny's like, you know what? You're right. So let's do a double suplex on Ibushi. And just when Ibushi's right up, Cody, being the king of sneak style, rolls up Kenny while he's dropping Ibushi on the suplex to try to get a flash pin.
Yeah.
And then Kenny looking at Cody like, bitch, please.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that illustrates more the real friendship between the Golden Lovers and this fake friendship between Cody and Kenny, even though there was glimpses of fakeness between Cody and Ibushi too.
And Kenny and Ibushi.
Yeah.
So they were doing the combo of You Will Not Escape, and then through Kenny's moonsault, Cody moved. So by then, Ibushi was already in the top turnbuckle about to do his moonsault. So Kenny, as a friend, grabs Ibushi to stop him so he doesn't get hurt.
Right.
But in the process, he has him in an electric chair position. Oh, what do I do in the electric chair position? Boom. So he tried to do it. He tried to, and then he let it go in the last minute. And then everybody, even the fans were laughing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're in on this exhibition of like, this is only their third ever triple threat match in New Japan history for a title. So they're just like captivated by the whole thing. And Kenny's facial expression selling it.
And he was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Ibushi's resting bitch face whenever he realized that, you know what, this match right now is no longer about friendship. It's about who's winning a belt. So they put all that aside just until the bell rang, and you can see all three of them.
Well, I said this like 2 or 3 times while we were watching it. Did Kenny just save his friend, or did he save the match?
Yeah.
And it was like that.
And which friend?
Yeah, and which friend? And it was like so much like story chess that was being played between the three of them, just kind of psychological, trying to be spirit of competition.
Technically,
but maybe
it would
not,
be Chinese checkers because you need
Japanese checkers. I don't know, but no. Like there was so much fucking thought behind what they were doing, other than this is going to be a cool move. Let's do this, and this is going to be a nice little spot. Let's get to here. Let's get to there. For anybody that says, I don't watch New Japan and I don't watch Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes because the Young Bucks are nothing but spot monkeys and they lump them all in together for spot monkeys. No, guys, seriously, you need to watch this match and know the backstory of this match. That being said, Daniel Price, welcome. Thank you for being in the live chat. He was on earlier, and of course, Randy and Porsche were in there too. That's why I got a phone call. Randy was like,
hey. Randy texted me. He's like, hey, the audio is on and not the video. I was like, that's part of
Robert Medlin's also in the live chat.
Hey, Medlin already.
All right. So Daniel says this. He says this story's been building since Ibushi beat Cody clean, and there's more subtext got piled on when he beat Kenny at G1. Exactly, man. There's so much story leading into this matchup.
Even further back, where the dissension or the tease dissension. One of the matches we have on our matches of the year, the Golden Lovers against the Young Bucks. All this was rooted through actions that Cody Rhodes had made in the beginning, trying to, as far as that power struggle of who's the leader. Oh, you're a shitty leader. I could do better than you. Yeah. But and so this whole thing that we got tonight, it's been almost a whole year in the build. Oh yeah. Without you even knowing. Then again, it didn't matter if you didn't know, because the commentators did a good job of filling in all these gaps of, Cody was a babyface and all in because he was trying to tell the story of his dad and was trying to sell tickets and trying to sell pay-per-views. And then the next week in King of Wrestling, he's a total douchebag. Or at Spirit of
I don't know.
Fighting Spirit Evolved that happened in LA. He's a total dick all over again because that's his nature. He knows he's a businessman as far as wrestling goes. He knows what he has to do. That's how the fuck he got in this match.
Yeah.
So
he weaseled his way in and he sneaked his way in. Which it was beautiful, man. Like that, the story was beautiful. And it wasn't just story. Because that's what a lot of people are going to say about Triple H versus Undertaker. You're going to see people, and I saw people out there talking about, see, you don't need a bunch of flippy dippies to tell a good story. That's real wrestling and blah, blah, blah. No, man, you need both. I appreciate good flippy dippy. I appreciate good spots and this and that. But, yeah, I get it. Just a spot fest, a good match does not make. But you got to have both story and spots and everything to make sense. Triple H Undertaker.
We'll get there.
Okay. Okay, we'll get there.
However, in the tradition of Houston Wrestling Radio,
yes,
blowing our loads early. This is my match of the week pick. I've watched it 3 times.
Bro, I did not think this 45, 30 minutes, an hour ago, whatever it was. I thought I knew what my match of the week was. But you fucked it up for me by showing me this match.
All you listeners that are watching or listening later on our podcast version, that's for y'all. Because you've been telling us we need to watch New Japan, and I've been corrupting both these motherfuckers. We left Arnold in Australia. We've been corrupting both of them to try to get them into this. And now, this is your match of the week.
This is my
You've
match.
been gushing about it for the past 10 minutes.
This is my match of the week pick. This is my pick.
You've been gushing about this for the last 10 minutes. Story plus action.
Before we do this, I do have to throw this out there. Arnold remotely chimed in and said before we started recording what his
say that too.
Because if we're gonna do this,
no, we've done it before without Arnold. I've done it without you. Y'all have done it without me. Okay. Tonight, this is you and me.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. You and I.
True that, true that. Oh, that old school Will Smith. What you know about that? I know all about that.
All right. So then you're forcing my hand.
Yeah.
All right.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
It's got a thumb up for me.
One more for the list.
Goes on the match of the year candidacy list. This is the 10th month. How many matches do we have on this goddamn
we'll
list?
get to that in a little bit. But
right.
We're gonna add that to the list.
All right.
There's a couple of things. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about as far as New Japan went.
Daniel says this: I opt out of match of the week in favor of promo of the week instead. Sabre talking shit to Jericho and telling him to stay out of his boat with his dad rock. That was evil and outstanding.
I will see that. No,
you can have a match of the week and a promo of the week. It's fine.
I will see that promo of the week, and I will raise you Derek Lewis from UFC 229's post fight after that vicious 1-2 knockout on your Russian boy. Yeah, I'm gonna lift my wife's legs up in the air when I get home.
He says that.
Yeah.
H-Time holding it down, man. That's seriously, man.
And there's more that I want to get to, but again,
Okay.
we'll plot through King of Wrestling real quick. Kushida defeated Skrull in the finals of the cruiserweight tournament, the light heavyweight tournament. So Kushida 8-time, 6-time light heavyweight champ.
Yep,
good for him. I showed you the
yes,
the dramas.
The sports entertainment New Japan
style.
style.
So like Tanahashi successfully defended his his title shot for Wrestle Kingdom against Jay White.
Right.
And Jay White's like, I'm not having any of that. He would try to go beat him up some more. And then out of nowhere, Okada.
Right.
Saving one of his
Tanahashi.
biggest rivals.
Right.
Okada defending Tanahashi. Just so he can get his hands on Gato, that rat bastard. And then out of nowhere, after Gato's brother tried to calm everything down, the Bullet Club firing squad walks out, and you're like, what the fuck's going on here? This makes no sense.
It's like firing squad and former chaos and current chaos. What's going on? It doesn't make any sense.
So they point at Okada, and then the firing squad, which is Guerrillas of Destiny, Bad Luck Fale, and Taiji Ishimori, they grab Gato and Jano.
Yeah.
So like they can get so Okada can get some cheap shots, and Okada's like, I don't know if I want to do this. But then he hits the ropes like he's gonna do something, and Guerrillas of Destiny knock him out.
Well, actually, it was Jay White that first jumped in there because Jay White gave him a cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the end, everybody jumped on fucking Okada. So
all of them.
So the Bullet Club firing squad as of now: Guerrillas of Destiny, Haku when he feels like it, Taiji Ishimori, Bad Luck Fale, Gato, Jano, and Jay White.
Because apparently Jay White joined up with him.
Yeah, Jay White didn't want a part of Kenny Omega's Bullet Club, but he wanted a part of the Guerrillas of Destiny's Bullet Club.
The firing squad.
The firing squad. So,
interesting.
And then the cherry on top that you thought I overread, which I might, but it's New Japan. Tanahashi rolls back in there to check on Okada, but he doesn't lift him up. He doesn't carry him to the back. He just looks at him down, defeated, and then rolls out and leaves.
It's like,
so remember,
that's a shame.
So remember, the main event already signed for Wrestle Kingdom, Kenny Omega, the current leader of the Bullet Club, Golden Elite, against
which is it really him or is it Cody?
Against Hiroshi Tanahashi,
right?
Who was just involved outwardly. He's a part of this whole melee that happened with the Bullet Club firing squad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people are thinking Tanahashi's already been Hulk Hogan for too long. Maybe he needs to be Hollywood.
Ooh.
If we get a heel Tanahashi and the new leader of the firing squad. Well, yeah.
I don't know, man. You might be reading too much into it, but it's New Japan. New Japan has more patience when it comes to storylines than WWE does.
Well, Wrestle Kingdom's 3 months away.
Still, they have more patience.
And of course, a match that I really wasn't looking forward to, I wouldn't think I would be looking forward to because I'm not the biggest fan of Evil. But you are rubbing off on me. The story between Zack Sabre Jr. and Evil twice, once one-on-one and once in a tag match, Sabre Jr.'s gotten the best of Evil.
Well, give Daniel Price the props on that because he's the one who brought it up.
Yeah. Evil has like this, he goes back to roots. He has a badass Undertaker type entrance with druids and everything coming out. Mm-hmm. And he's about to get in the ring and one of the druids beats him up. And then we'll see one of the druids has one of the belts. So I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And it's Jericho. Judas himself beating the fuck out of Evil to the point where Naito had to come in and make the save. The entire time, Saber's like, nah, leave your butt rock over there on the out of open waters. We ain't got time for you. So,
awesome.
Yeah. So we could be leading up to.
That's some good stuff on New Japan right now, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, full disclosure. Yeah, I know how you're saying you're not watching Mae Young Classic because there's already 9 hours of WWE programming. That's on a week where there's not a network special in, fucking Australia.
Which was 13 hours total.
Yeah. Whew. Full disclosure. I didn't watch a whole lot of nothing this week. I mean, we watched a little bit of Lucha Underground earlier. We watched a little bit of New Japan earlier. Other than that, all I saw was parts of Australia, parts of Raw, all of SmackDown. I didn't watch 205. I didn't watch NXT.
Good.
I said all that to say this. New Japan is doing pretty goddamn badass, but fucking hell, it's a lot of wrestling to watch, man. So I'm sorry if I'm not as caught up.
And that's not including if you decided to dip your toes in Ring of Honor. Jay Lethal's title stuff is still going on.
Okay.
And Impact's on the come up also. We're building up to Bound for Glory in New York City.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of
I like the little bit of stuff that I saw from Mexico City and Impact. I liked it.
So let's finish the wrestling. Let's start some more wrestling talk about UFC.
Okay. All right, let's talk about UFC, guys.
The quote that struck me the most wasn't last weekend, but a couple of fights ago, where Derek Lewis said, "I'm only fighting until my mortgage is paid off." It shows where his priorities are. He's not trying to be a baller. He's just trying to make sure that he's set. Derek Lewis, even in the promo, he's like, "Oh, they asked him, so what do you think about a title match now that you're number one contender? You were number 2 contender before this match. I think you'd be number 1 contender."
He's like, my balls are hot, and he took off his pants.
He's like, I ain't got that endurance. I'm gonna sit my black ass down and catch my breath.
That's what he said.
Yeah. 4 days later, UFC announces that this month, November, coming up, the next fight, UFC 230, Derek Lewis will main event, getting a title match at the heavyweight strat being held by Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
Just 1 month from his last fight, he's in the title match. Big payday.
Are they setting this dude up for failure? He said it himself. Dude, I ain't got the cardio.
And for anybody that saw that fight, he was getting smoked for a bit. He was getting whooped in that match until out of nowhere that knocked him out. But Cormier wanted another fight before the end of the year. And this could be his tune-up fight for either Brock Lesnar or John Jones. Now, that being said, Cormier is a cool guy. He's good. He's a good wrestler, good boxer, big wrestling fan. Imagine if Derek Lewis knocks out Daniel fucking Cormier and we get Brock Lesnar versus Derek Lewis promos building up to this fucking fight. Are you serious? Like, if they're trying right now, that pay-per-view from UFC, there was parts of that pay-per-view that were better than Super Showdown. Like, UFC is out WWEing WWE lately. And it's not a coincidence that once the Super Brothers sold to that private investor company, all of a sudden they're starting to lean less on the fights and more on
the showmanship. Which is weird, because is it all work? Or is this just people going crazy because the owners are gone, so they could get away with investors because they're not really owners, so they're getting away with shit? Is it a work?
And even now, like,
is it a work?
Like, a lot of ESPN people think that it's good for Dana White and good for the business, when really Dana White's not the owner anymore. He's never was the owner. He's just like the acting general manager or whatever.
Daniel Price in the live chat says Dana White was cozying up to Vince to get tips on how to make it more like WWE, and he got the circus that he wanted. Is that what this is? Is Dana White saying, "Hey, say some stupid shit about this guy"? It's like, "Hey, Connor, throw a chair at the bus here and see what happens."
Dolly.
Oh, Dolly, whatever.
Dolly at the bus.
But are they planning this shit out?
But at the same time, when people say that part was just an act, this was not sports entertainment. This was fucking beef, dude. Like, Khabib's guys got injured. 3 fights were canceled because of that incident. And selling this fight the week of the show, Conor McGregor was throwing out some really racist shit to Khabib. Like 9/11 kind of racist shit to Khabib and his team. Like, damn, dude. I was in ACL in Austin in the back of my mind thinking, man, Gomedov needs to beat the living fuck out of McGregor. And sure enough, I think Conor McGregor won 3 minutes of 24 minutes of that fight. That Conor McGregor was owned. He doesn't deserve a rematch. But after all the drama that happened, bet they're going to WWE sell this shit and get another fight out of it.
I mean, okay, fights got canceled, this and that. Robert Medley says this in the chat. If there's no suspensions, it's probably a work. UFC has sold their entire existence on the fact that nothing there is a work. That is all shoot. That is their identity, okay? Mm-hmm. But remember, back in the 40s, the 60s, the 70s, professional wrestling
was a shoot.
It was supposed to be a shoot all the way through until it was exposed in the 80s and the 90s for it to have been a work. So is this history repeating itself where they're taking things a little bit more extreme and saying, okay, well, we're not going to have the fighting be a work. We'll have that be a shoot. And then we'll plug in the works, before and after. Is that what's happening here? I mean, am I being a crazy wrestling fan trying to put my wrestling eyes onto UFC fighting, or am I on to something here?
The bigger question is, does what happened last weekend entertain you enough to at least make the effort to watch UFC? Do you want to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch this next fight? Do you want to maybe Super Bowl weekend pitch in with some buddies and order the pay-per-view to watch Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Cormier? Is this working for you?
Right now, honestly, I wouldn't mind getting together with somebody and watching UFC just for the shit show part of it. Not for the fight, not for the 3 rounds and who won which round and the fucking points and all that, but just to see, like, is this dude going to talk about his balls again? Is this other guy going to jump out of the fucking octagon and jump the other guy's team? Yeah, are they going to get suspensions? Are they going to try to tone it down and like, get people involved and throw out, like, I'm getting hooked by this drama. Now, if this was just a one-off weird-ass thing that just happened one night where everything was off and there was bad juju in the air, okay, fine. But if this continues and we start seeing a pattern, not only am I going to be like, yeah, it's a fucking work, I'm also going to be like, yeah, I want to fucking watch this.
Which is weird because primarily you didn't need this. Nurmagomedov is 36-0. He's undefeated. Conor McGregor just came back from making but squillions of dollars losing in the 8th round to Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Yeah.
There was enough hype already for this match. Mm-hmm. Even if you take out the bus incident, record and persona alone sold that fight. But the fact that everything else happened around that fight, now assuming that all kinds of stuff was thrown out, McGregor got paid because he didn't instigate any of it. He actually, again, another example of WWE getting out WWE. They fucking did Bret Hart, Steve Austin. Dude, Khabib was the good guy that was going to change Conor's face. Conor, the Ric Flair / Vince McMahon hybrid guy that walks around with his arms thrown around that everybody hates unless you're Irish and eat Lucky Charms for dinner. The end of the pay-per-view, people are feeling bad for Conor McGregor because he got blindsided by some goof in Khabib's team that jumped the octagon and popped them from behind a couple. And Khabib's looking like a madman, Tasmanian devil, eating all the fans in order to get to McGregor's jiu-jitsu trainer just to knock him out for saying more racist shit after he tapped McGregor out.
I don't know, man. This is a crazy-ass situation, dude.
And then they're talking about, so Conor's got his money. They're holding Khabib's money. There's probably going to be fines if he gets any of it. There's probably going to be a suspension. There was even talk that they were going to cancel his visa, which meant the next fight would have to be overseas, like in Japan or in Europe or in Saudi, and not America because he wouldn't be able to come over.
Yeah,
there's so much shit.
And what about the title? The title itself. I mean,
it can't be vacant.
Why can't it?
because this had nothing to do with the fight.
But they could
From bell to bell, Khabib raped McGregor. He was clearly the better guy. He's clearly 37-0. What he did afterwards, that's something
But if you
else.
fire the guy, I mean, I don't know if they're going to go that far, but if you fire the guy or if you suspend the guy for a long enough period of time,
then there's an
Don't
interim champ. But he first fight when
so
he
they
comes back
don't
is a
they
rematch.
just never do vacant. They just say, okay, well,
There's an
we're taking the
interim.
title off of him and we're going to give it to this other guy.
They take it off of him. We have a match at the next pay-per-view, and whoever wins that match is the interim champion, not undisputed, because once the guy comes back, because John Jones has had it a couple of times and he's lost it because he one night was one nostril, the next night was the other nostril, and then the next night was a car crash, and still he gets fucking his rematches for his belt that he never lost. So
Porsche says this in the live chat. Next time McGregor will be sleeping with Katie Vick. Daniel Price in the live chat says this. Nah. There were Russians fighting at the concession stands with Irish guys. It was real. McGregor talking shit was the work. Khabib jumping the cage was the fourth wall breaking.
yeah. Oh yeah. I love that. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically Khabib got worked into a shoot. Is that what happened?
Yes. Yes.
He got worked into a shoot?
Yeah.
Okay.
But hey, if there's one thing I learned from that entire kerfuffle, don't fuck with Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Don't fuck with any UFC guy. Like, seriously, man. Like,
It has to.
these are trained fucking fighters that are legit badasses.
If you want to look for a good fight, I believe in 2 or 3 weeks, Fedor Emelianenko is fighting Chael Sonnen for another organization. But I think the aftermath is getting a lot of guys like you hooked to where, oh, I need to see if there's going to be another, like monster trucks. You watch the monster truck rallies just to see one crash. You're going to start watching UFC just to see the next fucking fourth wall break. And maybe it's enough where you might start learning New Japan wrestlers and moves and going to events.
Yeah, maybe. Robert Medlin says this. There's going to be slaps on the wrist, but it's best for business to get the rematch back onto the calendar.
Yeah.
Okay.
McGregor did tease dropping back to what's under light heavyweight? Is it featherweight? Or is it, to go back and try to
I think it's flyweight.
To fight Jose Aldo again?
I think it's flyweight.
But he knocked Aldo out with one punch in the first 10 seconds. The first punch he threw knocked Aldo out, and he was undefeated for years. So I don't see the point of that. But at the same time, if he fights one of the Diaz brothers, Conor McGregor's kryptonite is very easy. You get him past the third round, you'll gas him out, he'll make a mistake, you choke him out, you knock him out, he's done. He couldn't make it through 12 rounds with Mayweather. He couldn't make it through 5 rounds with Nate Diaz. He couldn't make it through 5 rounds with Nick Diaz. He couldn't make it through 4 rounds with Khabib Nurmagomedov. So fuck, that's his weakness. He needs to bust a nut quick or just throw in the towel. So, and that is UFC.
All right, what's next, sir?
We do have one match of the year on our list tonight.
Okay.
But do we have 2? What did Arnold just message you before we went live?
Arnold said, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. My match of the week is Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy.
And I haven't been able to check my phone, but I messaged him back. Is it better than the match of the year candidate that we already have from 205 in July? What do you think?
I don't know about Arnold's opinion, but I know my opinion is this. I really, really enjoyed the match. That was my match of the week pick until I watched the New Japan stuff. I am uncertain whether or not it was better than the 205 Live match. And the reason why I'm uncertain is this. I am not sure how I feel about who won. I really like Buddy Murphy. And when I saw the Iconics win in their home country, and they were heels, but they acted like complete baby faces, I thought for sure 50-50 WWE booking.
Buddy was going to lose.
Buddy's going to lose. So I was swerved in the fact that Buddy won, which is cool. It's hard to swerve, a hardcore wrestling fan. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just saying that when it happens, I got to give props. Okay, so I was swerved. But when I think back on it, I'm like, man, I don't know, because was it too much was it too masturbatory for the Australian fans to say, oh, all the Australian people, they're going to be baby faces and they're going to win? Yeah, I don't know. That's not really true to what the WWE product actually is, because both the Iconics and Buddy Murphy are fucking heels. You know, and then I have to think to myself, well, the 12-year-old Abel fucking loved Bret Hart when everybody in America hated Bret Hart, but he was a babyface in Canada. So am I being a hypocrite here? Should I say, it's Australia, let them have their fun, and of course they're going to get cheered there? I don't know. So I had mixed feelings about it. Now, when that comes to who won. The match itself, phenomenal. It's on par with the match from July. Okay. It's just I'm not sure about how I feel about who won it and the way that it came out, given the setting.
I'm torn.
Porsche says, "Yes, you hypocrite."
I'm torn for a couple of reasons. Before you got here and we started watching the bit of Lucha Underground in New Japan that I showed you, I went back and for the first time, I saw Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy from 205. Because you and Arnold voted this as match of the year.
Right.
I had no say.
You weren't involved in this one.
This was my first time watching it. After I had already watched the match from
July.
Down Under. And
wait. Oh, you watched the match from Down Under first and then you watched the match in July?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you still hadn't watched the match in July.
I'd never had.
Okay, I got you.
The match in July was longer.
Yeah.
It had more action.
Okay.
In the moment, I thought it felt like the right person won. But narrowing it down to the microcosm of avoiding the rest of the pay-per-view and just focusing on the match in Crown Jewel. If you were to put both of these matches on the match of the year list, one would fall because as good as the in-ring stuff was, there's matches on the list that are better. Okay. If you put this match from last weekend on the list, it has the significance. Title change, overseas, 70,000 people.
Ooh,
the Bret Hart British Bulldog of this generation.
Oh, that's a good point.
But even with that significance, does that hold up against a year and a half of Bullet Club triple threat from New Japan? Let alone the rest of the stuff that's on the list. So if I were to lean either way, if we were to put this up at the end of November and say, look, I need to make a bracket. I'm one match over. Tell me the match I need to cut. I think it would be unanimous. Our listeners would cut either of these two matches from our list.
Okay.
Significance-wise, this match last weekend severely outweighs North Carolina. And even on the microcosm of the feud, it makes perfect sense because fucking Cedric Alexander won on his home turf. Buddy Murphy won on his home turf, the rubber match in a neutral playground. Fuck it, put it in Crown Jewel. You were worried that this was going to be a pregame show. This was in the middle of the card.
Like towards
this
the end,
stole the show.
It did. I want to make 2 points. The first point is that I am so goddamn fucking happy that they actually put this in the actual show, not as a curtain jerker, not as a piss break, but later on to say, hey, this is going to be. Now, again, could that have been, like Daniel Price said in the live chat, a cheap pop Mick Foley type of syndrome thing there? Because, hey, it's from there. Okay. But I already thrown out that grievance. Just the fact that it was on there, I'm happy because I've been arguing that I want the Cruiserweight title to be meaningful and have it on the actual fucking show, and they finally did it. So that made me happy there.
The rebuttal is very simple. Bernie Mac, he got mine. You better get yours. So the fact that it doesn't matter how the fuck they got in the middle of the pay-per-view. The fact that they got on there, fuck it, take it.
The other point that I want to make is going back to the significance thing. You made some really good arguments for this match down under. Let me make a counterpoint for the match in July. This was the beginning of Cedric Alexander's rise to ruling over 205. You remember how Undertaker was undefeated from WrestleMania 1 through 7, and nobody really noticed until he got up to like 9. And then the next year when he was 10-0, he sat on the edge of the apron and he did
against Ric
that,
Flair.
18. And it was like, oh, okay. The streak had only been a thing for like 2 years.
Yeah.
But it had been 10 years in the making. It's just nobody fucking noticed coincidence that he never lost at WrestleMania. I think this particular match was the match of July was that match for Cedric Alexander. Cedric Alexander had been winning January through July, but it wasn't until he beat Buddy Murphy in that badass fucking match where he got the title on his home turf that everybody was like, who's this motherfucker? Exactly. And then that's when the whole thing about, hey, he's undefeated in 2018. He's undefeated in 2018. He's ruling the roost at 205 Live. He's the guy to beat. All right. He beat Buddy. Let's put in Mustafa. He beat Mustafa. Let's put in Gulak. Let's put in, whatever. And like he was the guy, Tommy. He was the guy beating everybody after that. This was his watershed moment for that amazing 2018 he had. So I don't know. There's not the significance. I'm not sure. If you put a gun to my head right now, and you told me you had to pick one of these two matches to get off of the match of the year, I would say the Down Under match has to get off a match of the year.
So you'd keep July.
I'd keep July. Okay. I'd keep July, but by a hair.
I think the hair for me is watching the match earlier today before I saw the match in July. Knowing everything else, this match felt a little rushed. Like, for everything that they did in the first match, I was expecting them to top it. And not only did I feel like they topped it, I think they were missing a few ingredients. But that's, again, because you needed to end the show with your – like, they fucking plowed through Charlotte and Becky's intros to play that video, the build-up package,
right?
Because they were trying to save time. We got a 2-minute match between Daniel Bryan and fucking The Miz, which has been an 8-year feud in the making, and they ran through it in 2 minutes because they're trying to make sure that the main event had enough time. The main event from '97 had enough time, so and you can see in certain matches where that was being affected, and I can tell, knowing that after the fact, I could tell that Cedric and Buddy, as good as it was, could have been a little better if they had 3 or 4 more minutes.
Okay.
And that's not something I say all the time. Usually I was like, you know what, that would have been good if there was 5 or 6 minutes less. This one needed a few more minutes in the oven for it to be just right.
Okay.
Not to say that it was a shitty match, because up to that point, that was one of the, I would say, a tie for match of the week.
Okay.
That one, Cedric versus Buddy.
Do you want to talk about the Shield versus the not Shield?
No. I didn't even. Okay. I'm going to tell you what I saw from Down Under.
Okay.
Do
you want to talk about that?
Not really. I was expecting. I saw it because I was expecting a swerve. It didn't happen because obviously more people are going to be watching Raw than they do the network, which, again, smart move by WWE by doing that. It was a solid match. The Riot Squad, god damn, all of them. Like, any doubts that I had about any person individually in the Riot Squad,
they're coming up.
Oh my god, yes.
I mean, Ruby was always there, and Liv and Sarah are like there.
Well, I'll tell you.
I'll
put it to you like this. A week or two ago on Raw, Ruby's match against Ronda put her as the number 2 woman on Raw.
Wow. Okay.
This tag match,
yeah,
brought the girls like right at Ruby's heels.
Okay.
They are certainly better than Brie Bella. They're better than Nikki Bella. Better than Dana Brooke. Better than I don't want to say better than what's Raw. So Nia Jax, what has she done? Ember Moon, the novelty's worn off a bit.
I don't know if I'd put her above Ember.
But I haven't seen a lot of Ember. They haven't. They've made an effort.
They haven't done anything.
They haven't done anything.
They haven't done anything.
Yeah. So I saw that. I saw the Cedric match, and I woke up in the morning getting ready for work in time to see the last 5 minutes of the main event and the aftermath. Okay. I was hearing a podcast from another website, a news website that does podcasts, and they had a live post-match pay-per-view recap, and they told me everything I needed to hear. So I honestly didn't feel like I needed to watch any of Super Showdown again. None.
Well, that's what you and I both said last week. I'm gonna wake up, take a shit, take a shower,
Get some breakfast.
eat some breakfast,
Go to work.
No,
Well,
not even
I'm
go to
going
work. I was going to read spoilers or check out Facebook and see what I actually need to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And identical, stubborn. I still tried to watch the whole goddamn thing anyway, and I couldn't get it all in. So I only watched up until the Shield versus the Not Shield, and I didn't catch the main event. But I too, off of Facebook and other people talking and this and that, I kind of know what the fuck happened with the main event, and like I don't care. The main thing, which was something I tried to allude to a little bit earlier, is I saw a lot of people, mostly indie wrestlers from here in Texas, who don't do flippy dippies, basically say, see, you don't need to do flippy dippies, you just need to have a good story. Okay, cool. Yeah, they had a good story. It's Triple H and Undertaker. Of course, there's years and years and years and years of history and character development behind it. Okay, great. Did Undertaker and Triple H do flippy dippies? Probably the fuck not. I don't need to watch the match to know that they didn't. Okay?
Here's my rebuttal to them.
Okay.
I loved, to take a quick page out of your book, the story between Nick Aldis and Cody Rhodes at All In. The match itself, I would have loved if it was the 80s.
Okay.
2018, you have to do something to catch up with the ADD riddling-free crowd.
Right.
So you have to incorporate something that's going to get their attention physically. If you can't, it's fine. We won't blame you for it. But if you're being sour towards other people because they do it and you don't, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Basically.
Damn it, Robert. Quiet you. Quiet says Robert says, you didn't have a time to get to watch it all? How long has it been? I was like, shush. I'm a busy man.
For everything that you didn't watch.
Right.
I still saw Raw. Last night at Neil's bar, I was doing a Mario Kart 8 tournament, and I still saw SmackDown.
Uh-huh.
I saw NXT. I saw Lucha Underground. I saw about an hour of Down Under, and I saw half of Kings of Wrestling.
Oh, Portia she has that recorded on her DVR, and she said she watched some of it. She said it wasn't bad.
New Japan?
No. The King Wrestling, that new show.
No, that's New Japan's pay-per-view that just happened. Kings of Wrestling.
No. Well, then what's that new one called?
MLW?
No. Porsche, what's it called?
The one from Orlando?
I don't know where it's from. No, I think it's Vegas. Porsche, what the fuck is that thing called? Please tell me. Tell me in the live chat. Oh, Robert. Duh. We need to talk about this. He said, I fell asleep during AJ versus Joe. AJ versus Joe happened before Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy.
You already forgot the Tuesday.
Yeah. As I was watching it, I thought that was going to be my match of the week pick. It got overshadowed by the Cruiserweight title, but I was like, man, this match is pretty good.
The problem with having pay-per-views...
The name of the show, Portia said, is Ring Warriors. It's based out of Vegas.
Yeah. So, again, what we talked about earlier, it happened before I woke up. So when I was told what not to watch, when I found out that Joe lost by submission, I had no fucks to give.
Really?
Like, okay, now what?
Okay. Yeah, okay. So, I do see how the interesting part of the story that I was hoping maybe they were doing a slow burn tease. I think I brought this up last week. But I don't know if, like I said this, I don't know if WWE is that clever or if they just fucked up something. It kind of got proven to be wrong, which was the whole thing about AJ didn't go run after Joe when Joe was standing in the audience. AJ did the quick little tap out. So was AJ the entire time being a little insecure, being a little, apprehensive because maybe he is the coward that Joe said he is. There wasn't that much subtext there. It was just WWE being lazy and not realizing that they put fucking little things in there where they could have connected more dots than they did. And this match kind of proves that. Now, the match itself was good. I liked the hardcore elements of it, the table spots and all that. That was pretty cool. Joe being vicious Joe, I really liked. The fact that AJ won on submission at the end to pretty much end the feud, storyline wise, character development wise, subtext and teasing different parts of story wise, they fucking dropped the ball with having AJ just tap out Joe like nothing. Joe should have won. Not because I don't like AJ Styles. I fucking love AJ Styles. But if Joe would have won, then that would have made this more interesting. And then the kind of thing that they did a little bit too much paprika of with Davey Richards in TNA, they could have started doing with a little bit less paprika on it with AJ Styles, where it was like, God damn, he's fucking frustrated. You know what? Maybe Joe is right. Maybe I am a fucking piece of shit. And if I am a piece of shit, you know what? Fuck these fans. I'm going to go out and just win it for myself. And you know what? I'm going to take time off and not show up to Raw so I can be with my family. Fuck them. Kind of like how Kevin Owens is.
Or Joe got under my skin to the point where, you know what? I took the victory that I didn't get. And you know what? I took
that too.
And you know what? I made mistakes that I wouldn't have made if I was just playing my own game instead of playing his game. But yeah, they dropped the ball. It's like, oh, great. Okay.
Daniel Price says they're not done. AJ versus Joe is scheduled for Starrcade. Okay, cool. But I think
that's a house show. That's not on the network.
And I think the story is now dead in the water because of the way that this match ended. You could keep booking it. That's fine. But what about the actual story, the beginning, middle, and end, telling, you know, what's happening with these characters and how they're developing as people and wrestlers? That's dead in the water. Right now, you're just putting it on a match just because, hey, these two guys are good at wrestling each other, and then that's it.
Starrcade, by the way, is after Survivor Series. So there's no way that that's going to matter. So
true too. Porsche says, I think I want AJ to be the champ for an entire full year. He's coming up on 300. He needs what, 2 more months?
No, he's already at 300. He's looking to the 2 weeks before Survivor Series would have been 365 days. So I think we're at 300 already, or 320, I think. Holy fuck.
All right. And this is why I want to say this. Daniel Price says, no disrespect to AJ, but why should I care about him being the champ when they upper mid card him with the company title all the time? That's exactly what The Miz was saying. You know why you don't main event even though you're the WWE champions? Because you're boring. Nobody likes you and you suck. Like that. I mean, I'm paraphrasing here, but you know what it feels like? It feels like CM Punk's reign. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Am I wrong?
For all the shit that I've been giving the last couple of weeks about Cena's promo to Roman, that Cena can do it part-time better than Roman can do it full-time, and he's there because Roman can do his job.
Yeah.
And then main eventing a pay-per-view overseas with a match that main evented like a pay-per-view in 97.
Mm-hmm.
Having The Miz put the exclamation point on the entire weekend by saying what he said to AJ Styles hurt my soul. God damn. There's like Savage, then there's Randy Savage, then there's two fucking Savage, and then there's the fucking Miz on SmackDown.
And
God damn.
And then there's my wife, Savage Randy.
God damn. Whew.
That was salty. And I loved it.
So let's think like The Miz for a minute.
Okay.
We had this match the weekend after WrestleMania for anyone that was paying attention. We had Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles main event SmackDown, the rest of the SmackDown at the WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Will this Ring of Honor main event get overshadowed by half of the Raw card on Saudi Arabia if The Miz isn't in it? He's got a fucking point.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, is that the performer's fault or is that booking's fault? I mean, because that's how that's what WWE treats this. WWE is going to treat it like that. I mean, does that mean they're not worthy of being the main event and that they're not a draw? They could be a draw if WWE would put the fucking, time and effort into making them. Remember, WWE only put the time and effort into making Shawn Michaels and Triple H and The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin because they were desperate during the Attitude Era because they were losing to WCW because WCW was stealing away all of their fucking not compromised. What's the word?
Competition.
Established.
Established
They're
talent.
established talent. So they had to make new stars. Right now, WWE doesn't have to make new stars. They could rely on the old stars. They could rely on those stars that they made in the Attitude Era: Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kane. So they're just repeating what they did before they got butt fucked by WCW.
Here's the
Vince is
problem.
doing the same thing. It's just his hand isn't forced.
Here's the biggest problem. WWE has always been, with the exception of Steve Austin, they've always been about franchising their own guys.
Yeah.
They franchised Steve Austin as the exception. They franchised Undertaker. They franchised The Rock. They franchised Triple H. They franchised Randy Orton and John Cena.
Okay.
Who are the next franchise? Roman, Dean, Seth.
Corbin.
Basically, it's Roman.
Yeah.
And that's because Roman's been the homegrown talent. Not Seth because he's from Ring of Honor. Not Dean because he came from fucking Dragon Gate.
Because if
and
they did, they'd call him
CZW.
Moxley and they called him the Tyler Black.
Exactly.
But they don't. They ignore that.
So there can only be room for one franchise guy
So
right now.
AJ Styles and
TNA.
Samoa Joe are in the same fucking boat.
Daniel Bryan, Ring of Honor.
As Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
You know, they made their name somewhere else. Fuck that. We need to own the name.
We'll give King Booker a title run on the show that we don't really.
But
then, Batista, the guy that we had in OVW, the guy that we watered every day until he grew to an enormous size, that's our next franchise guy. See?
But see, they don't mind doing that with somebody like Ronda and Brock Lesnar, though. Why is it okay to steal away UFC talent and say, hey, these guys and gals are fucking amazing because they're from UFC, but it's not okay saying, hey, AJ, Samoa Joe, Robert Roode, even though I don't like them, hey, these guys are great because they made a name over on TNA. They made a name in Ring of Honor. Why is it okay to do that for UFC and not TNA and ROH?
Ronda's yet to be seen.
The way they've been pushing her, though.
Brock Lesnar, remember,
Okay.
Brock Lesnar wasn't in UFC first.
He was in WWE first.
And that's why.
Okay.
Not to mention this last run from Lesnar isn't to franchise Lesnar. It's to add value to Roman. That's why they made such a big deal for Brock.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we've seen just in this year that the dream matches that we would want to see isn't the dreams that Vince McMahon has.
Right.
What did we get out of Nakamura and AJ?
Bubkiss.
What did we get out of AJ and Daniel Bryan after SmackDown?
Not that much.
What did we get from AJ and Samoa Joe?
Yeah. What did we get out of CM Punk, Daniel Bryan? Those are supposed to be amazing fucking matches, and they were like, oh, that was nice.
That was nice in the first hour of the pay-per-view. We're going to main event it with Cena and Orton. Toodles.
Yeah.
So, and that's why.
Damn.
Yeah. Did I just bring you down some more? Is this why you only saw about an hour and a half of SmackDown and 30 minutes of Raw? Out of 13 hours this week, how much of WWE programming did you watch?
Well, I watched all 2 hours of SmackDown.
Okay.
2. And then about an hour's worth of Raw.
3.
So, and then maybe like 2 hours worth of Down Under.
5.
I mean, well,
that's a you being you wave the flag.
I have an
you
excuse
the guy that watched
week,
a lot of you.
I know, I am, but I have an excuse for this week. That was extremely circumstances. Last week, no, I don't have an excuse.
How about the week before?
The week before, I don't have an excuse.
The week before that?
Shut up.
That's for you, Evan. So since we've just completely skirted over Super Showdown,
Robert Midland says this: they took forever to give Jericho his due because he wasn't a homegrown guy either.
Yep. And even then, I don't think he's a franchise guy. He had the World Heavyweight title while he was feuding with Shawn Michaels. He didn't have the WWE title.
Yeah.
The only time he won the WWE title was Vengeance, and that was, again, desperation. Well, not so much desperation. They just needed to find out what to do with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Match of the week candidate, Jeff Hardy outlasting Samoa Joe on SmackDown.
That was nice. That was really nice.
I would say I want to see more of it, but I'm not going to get the kind of that action that I'm going to want.
Right.
So, but for that morsel, that was good. But I have a bigger question. What in the fuck is a WWE World Cup that so far has had nothing but Americans.
I don't know. I saw Tuesday morning. Hey, later tonight on SmackDown on Facebook. Later tonight on SmackDown, we're gonna have Big Show versus Randy Orton. Okay, for World Cup qualifier. What? Wasn't that a TNA gimmick? Like, what the fuck is a World Cup? No description. Okay, so we're having a World Cup qualifier. We don't know what it is. We're bringing back the Big Show.
Came back from injury.
Okay. Big Show came back from injury. Good for Big Show. I'm not against the Big Show. I like the guy. He's a really, really sweet guy to meet in person. He's probably my favorite wrestler that I've ever met in person. He's a really cool dude. But the fuck with the booking? Like, huh? Okay.
This is the new gimmick.
You don't explain why Big Show's there, and you don't explain why he's fighting, and you don't explain what the fuck he's fighting for. And you set up 2 matches for a World Cup? And I never got anything that said before they even started announcing matches, hey guys, we're gonna have a World Cup and this is what we're gonna do. No, they said, hey, this is for a World Cup. And then Corey and Cole had to like fill in the blanks while the match is going on.
A tournament that John Cena's already in without even qualifying.
Because of course it's John Cena.
John Cena.
Because he's Chinese now.
The announcers, yeah. And the impetus for this tournament is to find out who's the best in the world. Last time I checked, the best in the world was the heavyweight champion, right?
The last I checked, the best in the world was CM Punk.
Or Jericho. So, what? Yeah. I complained last month that the Greatest Royal Rumble was a carbon copy that didn't need to happen, but they needed a gimmick for it to be in Saudi Arabia.
This sounds like another gimmick in Saudi Arabia.
The title's cool, but the gimmicks doesn't make sense. If you're going to go balls to the wall, don't do it half-assed. Just be upfront about it. Guess what? King of the Ring is returning in Saudi Arabia.
Why not? We're going to have a tournament and just call it the World Cup?
Look at the talent that's already on this. John Cena, Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy. And I think there's one
Big
more.
Show.
Orton.
Big Show.
Angle, Orton, Cena, Hardy. That's a fucking King of the Ring tournament right there.
Yes, sir.
Why not just fucking bring back the King of the Ring?
You may as well. Now, if you are going to call it the World Cup, the thing that you brought up when you first were going on your rant was that it's all a bunch of white dudes, a bunch of Americans. You should do it, and I hate to, because I'm sounding like I've been praising TNA all episode long, even though I'm not intending to. TNA did this way fucking better. When they were doing this, they had the World Cup. What did they do? They had representatives from different countries.
Japan, Mexico, United Kingdom.
And U.S.
And U.S.
Yeah, and like Puerto Rico and shit, you know? Where they did the World X Cup. Yeah, that's what it was. And they're like, okay, we're going to set up a tournament from all different people, from all different nationalities, and let's just see which nationality.
And the finale was an Ultimate X match.
Yeah, that was good too.
The one here in Victory Road.
Yeah, that was good.
Kaz.
That was good.
Woo.
But I mean, if you're going to say a World Cup, it's like how Cat Williams used to say, you open up the Book of Presidents, white. Like, all right, you're good.
White. At the end, black, orange. Finally. Fuck. They should have done this from the beginning because they announced it at last night's SmackDown.
Where's this? Curse Conquistador. He's cool.
I'll give him that.
Okay.
They should have started off with this match that they announced last night.
All right.
We're getting Shinsuke Nakamura against Rey Mysterio in the World Cup.
International.
In the World Cup.
Yeah.
You should have started with that. If you started with that, maybe add Andrade Cien Almas in there. Maybe add Drew McIntyre in there.
Maybe not have the 2 dudes of different ethnicities battle it out in the first fucking round.
To only have one survive to the next round. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's WWE.
Yeah, throw in Cien, throw in Mysterio, throw in fuck it. Put in Tozawa.
I was about to say Buddy Murphy.
Fuck it, put in Buddy Murphy.
Dude, Buddy Murphy against Andrade? Oh! Tranquilo.
Hi.
Yeah.
Mama. You got to have a Canadian in there too, so throw Owens in there. I mean, I know he's white, but he can speak
still,
French.
Yeah. Yeah, je suis parler français, mon ami. Yeah. A match that had me salivating like
Give
you.
Kofi back the Jamaican gimmick.
Have Shawn Michaels on ringside. Wait a minute.
Sorry.
I was salivating when I heard that AJ Styles was wrestling Shelton Benjamin. I didn't get. There's one thing by getting a good match and wanting more, and there's one thing by just having the complaint that you just flat out didn't get enough, which meant it wasn't as like it left too much to be desired. Like they didn't make an effort to make that match as good as Jeff Hardy versus Samoa Joe.
Okay.
Shelton Benjamin, AJ had flurries of something that could have been really good, except they didn't really do much with it.
Right.
I kind of was a little disappointed with it. But The Miz and Daniel Bryan on commentary was making up for it.
They were.
Like in spades.
I don't want Shelty B to be another afterthought. I want them to give him even if it's just for 6 months, but a push in earnest where you could be like, all right, this guy was kind of on top of the world for a little bit. Kind of like the push they gave Carlito, the push they gave Chris Masters, the push they gave Umaga, and even Sheamus for a little bit. You know, give him a couple of, main events, have him, dude, and then, all right, yeah, I get it. If you don't really want to fucking invest in Shelton Benjamin as like, the next Roman, okay, I get it, but give him a little bit of shine. But no, they're just having him be, jobber to the mid-card stars right now.
Charlotte killed Becky on SmackDown.
Yeah. Another match of the week, candidate.
The one on SmackDown?
Yes.
Okay.
I like it. I think they I like the fact that they just started the show right off the gun. No entrances, no nothing. Hey, these two are going to go at it. And then they went at it. And Charlotte was pissed. And I liked it. And I liked when Becky grabbed her title and started walking away with the exact same cadence and strut that she did the night before. And I literally had to think, wait, am I tripping? Did I accidentally start Down Under? Or am I watching? Wait,
those Australians got fat overnight.
Yeah. But no, and then almost on cue, was it Corey or was it Cole? One of the two said, "Oh, we're seeing deja vu from Australia." I'm like, "Oh, okay, good. I am watching SmackDown." All right, I wasn't, but it didn't end in the same goddamn result. All right. What kind of made it for me was the end there with that fucking spear. Whew, I know that Arnold doesn't like to count shenanigans as part of matches of the week. If the shenanigan is good, elevates it. I love the spear through the LED. I love the fact that I thought Charlotte definitely for realsies had a broken arm. She didn't, so I'm glad that she did it, but she did have a few cuts. Okay? All right. So I'm not like lusting after the fact that she hurt herself, but it like elevated it enough to where it was like, oh, So I'm on board, man.
Let's see if anybody in our audience watching or listening is paying attention to the show. Do you love their title match at Evolution? Last woman standing, Charlotte versus Becky. Go.
When they were announcing it at Evolution, Charlotte, and Becky,
one last time,
in the first, ever, women's, last man standing match. Fuck me. That was my reaction. Porsche and Randy can both vouch for that was my reaction. That I was excited at maximum erection
from midnight to
flaccid. Yes, I was like, last one standing. Come on. WWE just doesn't know how to do those kind of matches, man. They just fucking suck at it.
Man.
Nah, it needs to be a steel cage. Yeah. Daniel Price. Charlotte's on the fast track to beat her old man in half the time. She hits Becky with the figure 8 and locks it in until she can't stand up. Okay. Cool. Daniel Price says, "Hi, I'm Kevin Steen. I quit live on TV, then inexplicably show up in the beatdown segment next week." Yes, Robert, an I Quit match. I would have preferred an I Quit match. Would that have been the first ever women's I Quit match?
Yes.
It would have?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I quit. That would have been awesome. I don't know why in the last few years, maybe like the last half decade or so, we forgot about fucking last man, last woman standing matches.
I'm not.
I'm not, but somebody in booking is. Vince is, I guess. Like, dude, you have more matches than that. It's like we have Hell in a Cell, Steel Cage, last man standing. I really thought what they were going to go with in the moment, now that I'm remembering, I really thought in the moment they were going to go with Falls Count Anywhere because they kept fighting outside the ring. I was like, fuck it, Falls Count Anywhere. No, that's not what they did. Last woman standing.
It should be an I Quit match. They both have submissions.
Porsche says, didn't a last woman standing match happen in NXT? Did it? Maybe?
Oh,
maybe? NXT. I don't know. Somebody go research that.
Let's see. Any thoughts up and down about RKOing the Big Show and beating him into the next round?
No.
No? Okay, good.
Like,
that's it for SmackDown.
We bitched about the fact that the tournament is there. Of course, Big Show didn't win it.
Any fucks to give about the return of DX?
Hold on. I do want to bitch about Randy Orton a little bit more, though. So Randy Orton took off Jeff Hardy's face paint. Randy Orton took away the 10 from Ty Dillinger. Like, maybe they're giving Randy Orton a new gimmick. Instead of being the legend killer, maybe he's the gimmick killer. And maybe he's taking stuff away from people. And I was like, well, how do you take away something from the Big Show? You just take away something that he's big? How do you do that?
Cut his stomach off.
Or you chop off a leg. I don't know. Like, you just don't make him tall. Like, cut him off at the knees. You know, I don't know. But there wasn't any element of that at all. It was just he was in a qualifying match. He won the qualifying match. So what was the point of him doing what he did to Jeff? What was the point of him doing what he did to Ty? Was there no direction? Were we reading subtext into it that wasn't there because WWE is not fucking smart enough to put in their own fucking subtext and they got me again because I think that they're better than what they are?
I got you.
Okay. Sorry.
Any fucks to give about DX?
I do. I have a fuck to give.
Give it.
And this is not a positive fuck.
Uh-oh.
This is a negative fuck.
Oh, man.
This coming from the kid.
I've been fucking for a long time. I've yet to feel a negative fuck. But I guess you're about to enlighten me. So pull it out.
As a kid, I liked DX more than I liked NWO. I was a DX guy. Fucking love DX. My favorite thing in all of wrestling. Okay?
You're a living oxymoron. You have Bret Hart's left nut in your pocket.
Yes.
Yet you were a fan of DX over the NWO.
Yes.
And Bret Hart was in the NWO.
Yes.
Wow.
But
I thought I knew you.
But my definition of DX wasn't Triple H, Chyna, and Shawn.
Road Dogg, X-Pac,
Road Dogg,
Billy Gunn,
X-Pac, Billy Gunn. Yeah. That and Kane from time to time.
Chyna.
Tori from time to time. You know, that's the DX I dug. That I dug more than I did the NWO. Okay? When Triple H and Shawn came back, once, okay, cool. Twice, hey, I still like the music. Third time, all right.
Oh, because of Shawn, it is holy shit.
This time, I'm livid and disappointed. And frankly, I'm hurt in my soul a little bit. I'm sad because I thought, despite the fact that I'm such a big Bret Hart fan, the one thing that I really, really, truly respected about Shawn Michaels is that he said he was going to be the guy that stayed retired because he was all in his feelings when he retired Ric fucking Flair and Ric Flair went to TNA and then revitalized his career.
That
same year. And then Shawn was like, damn, bro, What happened to I'm sorry, I love you, super kick, let's exchange Rolexes, let's exchange watches, WrestleMania 24. You just shit all over that. Well, you know what?
That you were there for.
And that I was there for. Sean was like, I'm not going to be that guy. We were both there. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to be retired. I'm going to stay retired. I'll come back for little promos here and there. Of course, I'll talk about Triple H. I'll talk about The Undertaker. I'll do whatever. Once Undertaker, if you retire me, dead man, I'm going to stay retired.
I'll be guest referee for Hell in a Cell. The
Yeah.
end of an era.
And that's it. What the fuck is this? For Saudi money? For a pay-per-view that's not even a pay-per-view?
Rupee.
You're coming back and actually fucking wrestling? You are the only one, Sean. The only one. And
You
now
were supposed to bring balance to the force, not leave it in darkness.
Daniel Price says, "What? Shawn Michaels lied? You're kidding."
2 counterpoints, and I hate to be that guy
Okay.
because I was there with you.
Okay.
For its faults, they did a phenomenal job of turning chicken shit into a chicken salad. That promo that Triple H and Shawn gave, why do I need to respect you when your respect for me didn't even exist? Fuck your mama, fuck your daddy, fuck your neighbors. I'm coming back and I'm going to kick you in the fucking mouth. Because I'm the Heartbreak Kid, no hair. You know? They did a damn good job of making sense to even the casual. Oh, I get it.
But does one
Now,
promo?
as a wrestling fan,
Does
my
one
other
promo?
rebuttal. My only other
Okay.
rebuttal.
I'll let you
As a
finish.
wrestling fan, don't tell me you did not lose your shit years ago where some fan made a poster that AJ Styles himself shared on his Instagram and Twitter that AJ versus Shawn Michaels headlining the Royal Rumble. How many people did not bust a fucking nut for days thinking, oh my God, that's Shawn passing the torch. Just like fucking Tito Santana passed the torch to Shawn. Fucking Shawn's going to do it to AJ. Oh my God. Oh, but he's retired. I don't give a fuck. Oh, but wait a minute. AJ's the, really?
I'll tell you who didn't bust a nut.
You.
This guy. I didn't bust a nut because I saw it. I
I
saw it as, oh yeah, somebody did a nice little
Come
Photoshop job, but it's not really going to happen. Because
Well, guess what?
it might now, because apparently he's out of retirement. I mean,
Bet there's a 5-on-5 team for Survivor Series and AJ and Shawn. All over again.
yeah. Robert Medlin says this. Nah, he's coming back as Michael Hickenbottom.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Did Leo Rush do a good job of turning Bobby Lashley heel?
No. But it worked. But not because of him doing a good job at making it work.
He's annoying as fuck.
Exactly. He's annoying as fuck, and it's not that like he was so good at being annoying or so good at being a heel that we're like, yeah, we're gonna boo this guy. He's not Ciampa.
Oh,
He's not Ciampa.
oh.
He's more Roman because it's like, you know what? Fuck this dude. I've been a big proponent of saying that there's no such thing as X-Pac heat. But if X-Pac heat does exist, this guy does it better than X-Pac.
Oh, shit.
You know what? I wanted to give Leo Rush the benefit of the doubt. I give more chances to the first time that you see something in wrestling more than most other people normally do. And I was affording that same, time and countenance, whatever, to Leo Rush. After seeing Leo Rush do his thing, maybe about 2 or 3 times, I'm like, you know what? This was chicken salad that turned into and rotted into chicken shit.
Wow.
Fuck that guy.
Bella's turned on Ronda finally. Okay.
big whoop. I don't care. Like, I care less because they turned on her. I was like, no. Again, WWE not fucking being subtle, not teasing stuff, not putting subtext. I keep saying subtext so many times in this goddamn episode, but there wasn't any of that. It was just like, we're friends for 2 weeks, and now we're enemies. Why? Because this is wrestling, and you need to have a heel turn, because heel turns are shocking.
Because Ronda needs an opponent.
Heel turns aren't shocking. Shocking heel turns are shocking. Okay? There's a big fucking difference. If you put somebody together just so that you could break them apart, it's not shocking. Okay? If you put somebody together and they fucking meld and mesh and mold, and you're like, you know what? These guys are together for the long haul. I can't ever imagine them to be separated.
And then
you tease it. You don't even do it. You tease it a little bit, and then you forget about it for a half a year. And then you take out the knife and you stab you in the back. You did that very well with the Shield, the first go around.
Ciampa and Gargano.
You did it very well with Ciampa and Gargano. You are not doing it very well with everybody else, especially this week.
Would you have rather preferred to see at Evolution Alexa versus Trish? Alexa versus Trish and Lita versus Mickey in singles matches, or do you like that they changed it and made a tag team, Alexa and Mickey against Trish and Lita for Evolution? Would you have preferred this? Were you more looking forward to Trish versus Lita versus Alexa by themselves, or are you more enamored now that it's a tag match?
I wouldn't say I was enamored either way. Whatever. I guess with the tag stipulation or whatever, at least now we could have a little bit of all of it. Because, Trish and Lita together in the same ring, that's cool. Trish versus Alexa, that's cool. Trish versus Mickey again, that's cool. Lita versus Mickey was never that big of a thing, but Lita versus Alexa, that can be interesting. So, all right, I'm cool with that. But I'm not losing my shit either way for either possibility. Are you?
I'm preferring the tag match.
Okay.
It leads me to believe that hopefully Evolution's only a 3-hour show. I doubt that there's enough talent, even if they bring in more than one NXT match, because so far the NXT Championship's being defended. I personally want to see the rematch between Bianca Belair and Nikki Cross on the pay-per-view in front of that audience. Other than that, maybe there's probably 4 or 5 more matches. I don't see this being longer than 3 hours. This is 2.5 at the most. And the fact that they made a tag match out of this instead of giving them each singles matches adds more to the theory for me. But I'm excited. Besties versus besties. I mean, I'm down with that.
Sure.
Man, gotta love Travis.
Why?
I was watching Raw with Travis during the whole Baron Corbin segment. And when Conquistador was out in the ring, Travis looked at me and he says, "Dude, I think that's Kurt Angle." Yeah. And I was like, "How can you tell?" And he's like, "Look at that fucked up neck."
Look at that fucked up neck.
And then he gets in the ring and I'm noticing Goldie's not standing up straight. But then he's hopping and dancing and shit. It's like, how many did he have tonight? And then he hit that suplex and I my disbelief was suspended. I was like, whoa, pinche conquistador, va a romper la madre, pendejo. And then it was Kurt. I was like, that was so beautifully done, dude. That was fucking awesome.
Wait, what? So Sasha is injured too? Is he? Robert Midland says Sasha is injured, but posing it in the form of a question?
I don't know.
Huh. Oh, goddamn. Daniel Price says Punishment Martinez is going to show up and show Corbin what his gimmick was supposed to be.
So I don't understand how Alexa had to drop off Mixed Match Challenge because she was hurt, but she's still doing this feud with Trish and Lita, and they have Ember now with Braun.
I don't know.
I guess it was just a one-night thing, but they had to start it. Otherwise,
mixed match stuff. I don't know. Whatever.
Yes,
Sasha is injured. Okay, cool. Thank you, Porsche.
Last thing for Raw that matters.
Okay.
Did Dean walking away from the Shield at the end of the show do anything for you?
I didn't watch that.
Okay.
That was part of the stuff I didn't see.
Dean walked away from Shield because McIntyre
I was told.
6-man tag, McIntyre, Claymore, 1, 2, 3, bada boom. And Dean walked away.
Now, was he dejected because
Yep.
they lost? Or was it, you know what, fuck the Shield?
Yeah. Well, it looked like both.
I don't know how I feel about this, man, because, like, okay, again.
We got the quick breakup the first time with Seth just snappy fingers.
Yeah.
So would you rather just then pull the trigger that fast again, or do you want a slow build to figure out if it's Dean or maybe it's somebody else?
I think that.
Or is it the fact that it's just the Shield and it's the cheap attempt to try to get Roman over? You don't give a fuck about any of it anyway, like me.
So, okay, there's a little bit of that to it. Because it feels disingenuous somewhat to the fact that they're putting the Shield together because it's just a way to kind of get you to cheer for Roman again. Remember those good old days when you used to like Roman?
When your vagina was nice and moist.
What?
Because Roman did that for you?
Oh, yes.
After you got tired of Randy? Yeah.
Okay. God damn it.
They did.
Anyway. God damn it.
I've got the stains over there to prove it.
Oh, Lord. Anyways, that totally derailed me, man. I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say. Okay, with the Shield breaking up, with them coming together here at this point in time, it's like, all right, it feels like they're just trying to get Roman over. All right, but if I suspend my disbelief enough, I would like you to help me to suspend my disbelief with not pulling the same shit that you're pulling with the Bellas and Ronda, where, hey, we're friends now for 2, 3, 4 weeks, just so that we can immediately break you up because a heel turn is shocking. No, a shocking heel turn is shocking. This isn't shocking here because you know that it's just kind of
you're waiting for something to happen.
It's delicate. They're fucking, you know, their alliance again. It's delicate. So what they really needed to do was have time for them to, like, you know what, man, I don't know if I could trust you, and then have them slowly build trust again to where, you know what, these guys are the Shield. They never got past that whole thing about Seth getting his 100% comeuppance, but from the other two. That never really happened because of injuries and the way that the storylines worked out and all this and that. It never really happened. And now all of a sudden, just because Seth is a babyface and Roman needs them, now they're back together? No, there's unresolved issues there that I feel like they needed to have a hash out session in front of the WWE audience saying, hey, look, remember you stabbed us in the back? I never stabbed any of us in the back. Roman's out doing his own thing. Why the fuck should we trust you? And why should we all get together to protect him when I don't have a title, but you do? Like, they need to hash shit out. And they never did. They did. Backstage, I mean, even then, it's just like a little bit. When we're talking about, like, there can be such a rich story that could be just as rich as the story between Omega, Cody, and Ibushi. It could be if you took the same amount of time and you told every little morsel of that story at every pay-per-view. Not try to stick it all in together at one backstage segment on Raw to just say, okay, we got the Shield back together. Now let's break them up, guys, because, oh, it's shocking. Like, no, man, fucking build that shit up. Make me believe that they're friends again.
You compared the Shield to fucking Bullet Club.
I'm saying that they could have been.
Y'all saw it.
I'm saying they could have been if they did it the right way, but they didn't do it the right way. So it's not like the Bullet Club.
Okay.
But they had the opportunity to do that, and they're fucking dropping the ball.
That's good.
Robert Miller just says, I don't know what he's saying, too.
Candidate for match of the week up until I saw Kings of Wrestling was NXT. Johnny Gargano against Tony Nese.
Okay, I didn't watch NXT.
It's fucking good.
Wait, Tony Nese on NXT?
Exactly.
Oh.
EC3 versus Lars Sullivan was fun. Humanized Lars a bit. Like EC3 could hang with him, but Lars ate him up. Okay. Trios match from Lucha Underground was fun. Killshot unmasked Havoc. A couple weeks ago, Havoc unmasked Killshot. So now, Ultima Lucha 4, mask versus mask. Killshot versus Son of Havoc. One person's walking away maskless.
Maskless?
Yeah.
They're going to have a mask.
They announced Dragon Azteca Jr. versus my nigga Phoenix in a 2 out of 3 falls match.
That's Nega.
Nega, as in evil, as in black, as in chocolate.
As in
Nega
negative.
Phoenix. Yeah, Nega Phoenix. And then...
Oh, Robert Mendez says EC3 versus Lars Sullivan is my match of the week pick.
Okay. Bottom tier candidate, but goddamn, it was fun. The main event of Lucha Underground.
I agree.
Marty the Moth Martinez cut a damn good promo talking about becoming champion, thanking his sister for the focus, for the motivation. So in her honor, his first title defense was going to be against Mariposa. Right there, right now. And they had a match. And they had a fucking match, dude.
Now, hold on. Let's pump the brakes here. Remember how I said that before 30 minutes before we started watching the show that I thought I had my match of the week? But you changed it on me because you showed me the New Japan shit? Motherfucker, you actually changed it on me twice. Because when I walked into your apartment today, I said, you know what? My match of the week is going to be Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy. But then you showed me Mariposa versus Marty the Moth. And I was like,
repeat that for them to hear.
Mariposa versus Marty the Moth Martinez. Okay?
10-minute barn burner, bro.
10-minute. And it made me go like, you know what? This motherfucker made me change our match of the week candidate. This is probably my new match of the week pick. And before I had enough time to really formalize that and ruminate on it and really internalize it, you showed me the New Japan match and I fucking threw the rest of that shit out the window. But you're right. That was fun. Holy shit. I did not buy Marty the Moth Martinez yet on him being the guy at Lucha Underground who upseated and upended fucking Cero Miedo, fucking Pentagon, who's been on a tear, lighting it up all over everywhere. I don't believe that this dude is that dude until I watch this match. Because, okay, yeah, Mariposa's not really his sister. I get it, okay? Yeah, I get it. But allow me to suspend my disbelief here. This is his fucking sister. And he was like, I'm going to dedicate this match to you by killing you. Like, all right. So it was kind of like fucked up storytelling. I'm the creepy, weird-ass guy, and I have this new creepy-ass girl. And since I have this creepy girl who will actually fuck me, I don't need my sister anymore. Like, what? Okay. So now I'm going to kill you, sister, because I have no need for you. Oh. But then the sister, she's like, oh, hell no, bitch. You're not going to take me down without a fight. I know your weakness, and I've been kicking your ass ever since you were 12. So what does she do? She takes out a chair, whacks him in the face with it. Unprotected face shot. Whacks him in the face. And that was enough for me to go, woo! But then, in his stupor, laying by the announcer table, she got out another chair and threw it at him. She got out another chair and threw it on top of that chair. And she got another chair and more impactfully whacked it on him. Then she got out another chair and another chair and another chair and another chair and another. God damn, it was like 20 fucking chairs. And eventually she got to the point where she just started recycling chairs. She was taking chairs off of him just to throw it back onto him.
There's moments in pro wrestling where you win a crowd over. Steve Austin bleeding during the sharpshooter at WrestleMania 13. Kenta Kobashi rapid chopping the fuck out of Samoa Joe's titty.
Hey.
Mariposa with the chair concerto and the sequel and the sequel and the sequel and the encore and the encore.
Yeah.
The crowd went from fervent to boiling to 4th of July like celebration. That crowd like throughout that entire process, that's the moment that you realize Mariposa belongs on the roster, belongs in the main event, belonged in a heavyweight title match that a fucking dude is wearing, to the point that she got 2 near falls in that match, and everyone in the crowd was, and everyone in the crowd would have believed it if she actually pulled it off.
I would have
That's
believed
how it's
it.
fucking done.
I would have believed it.
So
If
would I.
Mariposa would have walked out the new Lucha Underground champion with fucking Cero Miedo being the number one contender, I would have been like, yes, sir. Let me have some more. I would have fucking bought it.
Yeah.
And again, this just goes to show that, all right, WWE, they're having their first women's, fucking pay-per-view with Evolution, and they got their cutesy little mixed match challenge. They are still light years behind Lucha Underground when it comes to that. Mariposa would have, if she had won, would have believably kicked Marty the Moss ass, and I would have been 1,000% okay with it. So, yes, women in wrestling can be just as entertaining and just as believable fighting with the dudes just as they are fighting one-on-one against other women.
And that's not the first time either.
Yeah, because they did that with Eve Elise.
Sexy Star against Johnny Mundo, or was it? I think it was Johnny Mundo. Sexy Star was the first ever woman to hold the Lucha Underground title.
Okay. Yeah.
Eve Elise against, I don't know if it was, I think it was Mil Muertes.
It was Mil.
Eve Elise against Mil, and she won everybody over to the point that Mil even looked at her after the match like game recognized game kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then this match with Mariposa of all people against her brother.
If anything, I feel like Mariposa was screwed because of what's her name? The spider chick that's out there that's fucking moth.
Reclusa.
If it wasn't for Reclusa, she probably would have won that goddamn match.
Yep.
And I believe it too. I believe it.
Ultima Lucha 4 is in 3 weeks, and it's only 2 episodes.
Really?
Apparently. That could change.
Okay.
But that's what was advertised. That is it for Lucha.
Daniel says, yet Triple H says intergender wrestling is just for
a
shock
gimmick.
value.
It's I read that, and I was like, man, I don't know. You say it's shock value, but dude, I was marking the fuck out when China beat Jeff Jarrett in that hardcore match for the Intercontinental title.
Even though they were treating it just as shock value, because Good Housekeeping and all that shit.
She even hit him with the kitchen sink. And I still like that.
Yeah.
That's the stamp. Historians will go back in time and say, for all the stuff that Trish and Lita did, for all the stuff that fucking Beth Phoenix and Natalya did, the stamp is in 1999 when China defeated Jeff Jarrett to become the Intercontinental Champion.
Okay.
That is when the evolution of women's wrestling began. Whether you like it or don't know about it, that's when it started for this generation.
That's when it began, but it had long intermittent pauses
that's
in between.
That's the moment where girls dreamt to be wrestlers because they wanted to be like China. Then we get girls like Trish. Then we get girls like Lita. Then we get girls. Well, Lita was on the roster at the time. Then we get girls
Beth
like
Phoenix,
Beth Phoenix, Natty, Sasha, Bailey, Charlotte,
Becky,
exactly, Ronda,
Shayna.
Yeah. Don't let the UFC fool you. They got into wanting to be aggressive because of stuff like that from the women like that. From the
well, hasn't Ronda said that herself?
Mm-hmm.
Ronda didn't want to become a UFC fighter. She wanted to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
It was just easier for her to break into the UFC.
Yeah. That is it. I believe we have everything.
Whew. There you go. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. I know it was a longer episode, but hey, I feel like
we were due a long episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were thorough this episode, I think.
Well, let me put the cherry on top.
Ooh. Yes, Daddy. What?
Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega for the IWGP United States Championship, no DQ from Wrestle Kingdom 12.
This is our match of the year list, guys.
Ciampa Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT title at TakeOver Philadelphia. Golden Love. Ciampa versus Gargano on sanctioned match from TakeOver New Orleans. Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight title on 205 Live in July, which did not get upended by this last weekend's match. Omega versus Okada 4. 2 out of 3 falls, no time limit for the IWGP World title. Mil Muertes versus Phoenix versus Jeremiah Crane. 3 Ways to the Grave. Lucha Underground, Episode 3, Season 4. Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black, NXT Championship match from NXT, episodes from July 25th. Omega versus Ibushi, the finals from the G1 Climax B block, which was technically the semifinals of the entire tournament. That's 9. October being the 10th month. Our 10th match on our match of the year list.
Damn.
Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Cody Rhodes, triple threat. The third triple threat match ever in the New Japan Pro Wrestling
Heavyweight.
And this time for the heavyweight title from Kings of Pro Wrestling is about to be added on this list. 10 matches so far on our match of the year list.
Wow.
If it stays that way towards the end of November, every week we will let our listeners in elimination style. We'll put 2 matchups every week. Our listeners tell us which of the 10. The listeners are going to pick the 5, and from the 5, we pick the 1.
Okay, that was a little convoluted there, the way you were saying that was going to work out, but
yeah.
I trust that you know what the fuck you're talking about, okay?
We got plenty of time.
Yeah, and it's October. Okay, we still got 2 months. There might be something that sneaks in at the end of December.
Oh God,
it's happened before.
The
first year that we were doing HWR.
That TLC here in December?
TLC. What was it? Ryback, Kane, and Daniel Bryan
against
versus
the
the
Shield.
Shield. That snuck in right there at the very tail end.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's it, man.
All right. Adios, my friends. Keep it classy. Thank you for joining us.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, I'm done here. But yeah.
Day number 10.
Day number 10
of Sober for October.
Oh, how's that going?
Murders. I went to Neil's bar yesterday and I had water.
Okay.
Not only that, I'm going 2 steps further.
Number
1, I've also cut out sodas.
Okay.
So I'm having no beer, no alcohol, no Cokes, no Powerades, no nothing, just water.
God damn.
And since
your pee is gonna be white,
and
I should say clear, not white.
Since the 30th, since the end of the month is in the middle of the week, I'm starting the first 3 days of November with a 3-day juice cleanse. Fruits and vegetables for 3 days.
What's gotten into you?
I just figured I'd challenge myself.
Just try to do it.
Challenge myself,
yeah.
I saw the bank account and how much money I spent on beer. I was like, you know what? Let me take a fucking break. Let me take a break from drinking all this beer and let me spend $100 and go to Austin. Watch fucking Metallica and Deftones in front of a bunch of sticky hippies.
Yeah.
And not be able to walk back to my fucking car and drive back. I drove back. I got here at 2:30 in the morning. At one point, I hit 120 miles an hour.
Oh, my God.
In the dark.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You are an enigma, sir.
I'm a puzzle. Racked inside of an enigma. Racked inside of a
tamale
shirt. Yeah.
Yes.
Tamale. Yeah.
Corn husk.
I believe now that this mouse.
You probably need to click it because it went to sleep.
Just like we almost did.
Yeah. All right. Bye, y'all.